This is a person who hasn't admitted anything wrong in a long time. It doesn't seem like he's faced any difficulty in a very, very long time. So he's obviously not used to dealing with the stress that comes with being in a difficult position. So when you try and argue it like that, it's just not going to work. You can't relate.
Where do you want to go, sir? Level up. Where do you want to go?
Like whatever you think is relevant. Wait, like you're gonna have to have a dialogue here.
Your dialogue or what the scripture
No. I mean, you're introducing me to something like the reason.
Yeah, but you're Jewish. You know the 5 months.
Right, but like we're going to do something together here. We need to have a dialogue. You and me.
You stop saying you're Jewish. You're making it. You're talking to
He's Jewish. I'm a Christian.
But you so there's
What's that clumping in?
Just
You believe in murdering babies. What's the difference?
See, so there's nothing.
But I'm not murdering. I'm gonna take you something.
No.
No. I want you to listen to me. Because you don't want to hear what I want to tell you.
You're saying you said you don't want to hear it.
Because you can't hear it unless it's revealed to you, unless the Holy Spirit opens your eyes so you can see and hear the truth. This is grace. It's grace. I don't do this out of love or hate. I love you guys, but I care for your souls.
Yeah,
I will.
This is gonna be.
Yeah, well, you reject the New Testament. I understand that, but I want you. What's that? You're an atheist. You don't believe in anything. Just for yourself.
Excuse me.
I'm going to go from here, and then I'll go back.
We can speak civilly.
Okay, all right.
Like,
All right.
we can speak civilly.
Yeah,
you don't
sure.
have to call me names. You don't have to call me Jewish because you just define these.
But you said you're Jewish.
Right. But you call Judaism something, and then I didn't fit into that, and so you keep calling me something that I'm not. And you're like, by your definition,
You
of
believe
Jewish,
in
I'm
one
not
God.
Jewish.
I believe in one God.
Okay. Let's start there. That's
All
fine.
right,
That's
okay.
fine. So go ahead.
All right. So, do you know who Paul is? Paul is
Old Testament.
Paul is a Jew.
But that's
not Old Testament.
Okay, no, he's a Jew. He's a Jew. And God spoke all these words saying, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. This is an Exodus. Out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make yourself a carved image or anything like this of anything that is in heaven or above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath. You shall not bow down to them.
Can we stop there? Just there? So, because in my culture, what we would do is then say, okay, well, how is that applicable to every person in any context at any time? And this is again where the kind of my belief and the strength of my belief in God is one. So, I am the Lord your God. Out of the house of slavery.
From the other side.
So slavery is an interesting term because slavery is fear, right? What I understand by slavery is something that makes you do something that's...
Where were your people then? They were in Egypt.
But listen,
right?
I'm trying to, but again, what I'm trying to get out of this is a lesson that can be applicable to... Because that's why the Bible is so great, right? Because it's actually applicable to people's lives, right? If it's used right. So... And I understand that stuff. I understand. But so, does that make sense to interpret like slavery as fear, like something that makes you do things that you don't necessarily want to do? And God is will, right? It's the ability to actually overcome that. That's what I feel. And so when it says you shall not make for yourselves, and that will comes from the fact that we all are united, right? We all. We're united with the earth, with one another, and with the rest of the universe.
No, I want you made a good point.
But let's stay on that one.
No, you made a good point.
Because I'm not done with that. Just really quickly.
Hold on. No, you made a good point.
No. You gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish. I'm sorry. I don't mean to
Here's
grab
the
this
thing.
stuff.
Here's
but
the
if
thing.
you don't
It's
want
the same God. The Old Testament, it's the same God.
Yeah. But but I can't do the New Testament.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Here's what curses the souls, folks. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness, all unrighteousness of men who by their, not God's, unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world and the things that have been made. So they are without excuse. So
that's describing you, right?
He's speaking. No, he's just
because it's
he's
talking about the people who suppress the truth.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah, you suppress the truth.
Yes, until the eyes are open. He's talking to the atheist. He's talking to the unbeliever. Okay. Everybody knows God.
But
we suppress it. You suppress it to your own self-righteousness. We all do that.
So you believe I'll go to hell, right?
What's that?
You believe I'll go to hell.
God says, God doesn't wish anybody to do that. He wishes you to come to repentance
let me
and
ask
faith.
you something. Do you think you can learn anything from us?
What's that?
Do you think you can learn anything?
I can learn your worldview. I can understand your worldview.
But you're not
okay,
listening.
What's that?
But you're not listening.
Oh, what's that?
You're not
because
listening.
I'm not listening. Because what? Because I'm not agreeing?
No. That's not absolutely. That's not.
Okay.
That's not true.
So how do I listen? How do I? If we're all made in the image of God, every single one of us, every baby that comes out of the mother's womb, if we're all made in the image of God,
good.
We all know God. And you're saying I'm not listening.
What does that mean to know God? What's that mean? To know God.
His attributes.
Okay, explain. Do you understand those attributes?
Yeah, that he's holy and I'm not. I'm a sinner.
What does it mean to be holy?
What's that?
What does it mean to be holy?
To be perfect. God is perfect. God is just. God is love.
God is love.
Yeah.
So does God hate?
What's that?
Does God hate?
Does God hate? What's that? Well, you don't like the New Testament.
No. Whoa. We're asking you. I'm sorry. We're asking you a question that.
I never said that.
Okay. Does God hate?
Is God?
He hates.
If God
when
is
we
love,
God
so
God hates when we disobey His commandments.
So God.
It hurts Him. It hurts Him because here's the thing: we can sin against whoever we want to. But it's the holy God that we have to give accountable. If you're all right with Him, you're going to be all right down here. If you're not all right with Him, you're not going to be all right down here.
Okay, wait. So
because in your heart, you know that murdering babies is wrong, man. In your heart.
Everyone, no one's disagreeing on that, yo.
So what are you out here for then? Supporting.
That's not.
Huh?
That's a very different thing. Like we were starting down such a good path. We were talking about what it is to know God, right? Like, what does that mean? We still haven't really described it. It means to know His attributes, and then you just continue to say
He's holy, we're not.
But again, that doesn't mean.
Because I understand my depravity. Do you know what depravity means?
Yeah.
Do you hate your sin? Does it bother you? Does it twist you in your heart?
I accept my sins.
You accept them.
I accept them, and I try to correct them.
Okay.
And if I can't correct them, I do better the next time.
Only Jesus.
No. Just a second. So you're telling me to hate a part of myself.
What's that?
You're telling me to hate a part
your
of
sin.
myself.
If you don't hate your sin, why do you need a holy God?
So what is a sin?
What's that?
What is a sin?
Sin is separation from God. I named a few of them. You got a big one going on right here.
What, like
murder?
Okay, murder. So I have never murdered anyone.
I haven't.
So give me an example of a sin.
Have you ever hated anyone?
You're telling me to hate myself.
Okay.
Yeah,
no.
that's
Have you ever hated anyone?
No, wait, whoa. You're telling me to hate myself, and you're asking me like.
Yeah. Have you hated yourself? Have you hated what you've done? Do you feel guilt or shame over anything that you've done in your life?
At one point, yeah, sure. And that's never been great. That's actually led me to do worse things. Because when I've hated parts of myself, what I've done is not be myself. Right now, it's not even. I've not been able to grow as a person. I've not been able to learn or listen to anything because I was so afraid of those parts of myself that I just didn't want to face anything.
I was the same way.
It looks like you still are.
I was the same way. I was the same
What's
way.
the last thing you faced?
What's that?
What's the last difficulty you
Let's
faced?
see. The last difficulty I'm facing right now is just to have grace and love and compassion upon you.
It's not real difficult, man. Okay. I was just thinking of the kids that are starving and their hair's orange because they can't fucking eat. Yeah, that's difficult. So what's, and it doesn't have to be like that, I'm just being dramatic. What's like an actual difficulty? Something where you were like, I'm wrong here and I have to change.
Pornography.
Okay.
Yeah, you watch
No, don't ask me, I'm asking you about you because I've answered a lot about myself. You know a lot about me, I don't even know your name.
Harry.
Carlos. Okay. Sorry, that's just a politeness thing.
I was addicted to pornography. Is that wrong in your worldview? I was married too.
Yeah.
You think that affects my wife?
Sure. If it affects her.
Huh?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. If it affects mine. Okay. If it affects mine. Thing is, though, I didn't create Perry. God created me. He created you too.
All right. So but how does that? Yeah, you can just talk to me. So what does that do?
What does that mean?
That
that means I have an obligation to obey the Lord God. Okay. The thing is, see, I hate my sin. Okay. I hate my sin. I'm going to ask you. Pornography.
Okay. So
Adultery.
Why was
adultery? Drug addict. Alcohol.
No. Hold on. So why was your specific sin? Why was that a sin?
Because I was worshiping idols instead of the one and true holy God. It's called idolatry. It's called a worship problem.
I don't want to get too personal. Would that be adultery?
That's adultery. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So
that is outside of
which
God.
is bad, and you can observe why that's because it does harm to someone that you care
How
about.
do you know that?
Because it does harm to someone that you care
How
about.
do you know that, though? That's what I want to get at. How do you know?
Because you have human empathy.
How do you know? Well, who gave it to you?
But yeah, fine.
Right?
Like if that.
Who gave it to you? Who gave us the trees? Who gave us the air to breathe? I didn't create myself. You didn't create me. You didn't choose where you were born.
That's okay.
Okay? You didn't choose where you were born. You didn't choose what country. You didn't choose what economic status you were born into.
That's true.
You came into this world. That's what
I
God
can make
did.
choices now.
What's that?
I can make choices now. I can make choices as an adult.
Right.
You
Does
can,
it
yes,
right
you
or
can.
And so
wrong,
if I watch
career,
pornography,
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
so if I watch pornography, is that still a sin?
Yes.
Why?
Huh?
Yeah.
Why? I'm single. Is being single a sin?
What's that?
Being single a sin? Okay. So why is watching pornography a sin? I mean, don't just go like this. That doesn't make any
Against the
sense.
nature of God.
Because what?
It goes against the nature of God.
So God,
Okay, so hold on. So in his situation, I understand, and I'm really trying to understand it. So in your situation, I understand. I heard someone that you cared about, and that's
All
that
of it
could be
goes
a sin.
in.
We don't need to.
No. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. Guess who makes uncomfortable? Really uncomfortable is the one and holy true God.
Talking about sex?
What's that?
Talking
No, pornography.
Oh yeah, but that doesn't.
Yeah, that's the one I sinned against. Him alone. Okay.
So you're.
Yes, he's
So what
holy.
about
I'm
your
not.
wife?
What's that?
So what about your wife?
Yeah, I sinned against her.
So
But
that's not the only one.
What's that? But God first. God first. Because He's made us in His image.
Is God part of your wife?
What's that?
Is God part of your wife?
God
Like-
created my wife. But here's the thing. I can't
So
have
is
an
God just a dude somewhere?
God is the sovereign God that created you and I have a responsibility. either to worship myself or worship a holy God. There's the difference.
So is that holiness separate from you? Like, is that not a part of you? Like, are we not all unified? Is it not all brought together by God? Is it not all connected by God? Are we all not connected in that way?
Connected in one source.
Like, are we all? Yeah, we're all part of God.
We're all sinners. We're all sinners, and we need
That's
a
dark. Holy shit! That's like bad for yourself.
What?
You know?
Oh, bad for yourself.
It's very dangerous. Absolutely.
No.
People can murder each other all the time. It's entirely dark and entirely. That's correct. It's a very evil and wicked world. That's why we're here. It's to stand against evil.
All right. Okay, hold on. So what brings us together is our imperfection. Can it be said like that? Can I say it like that?
Well, since you don't believe in, since you don't believe in sin, you don't understand your gravity.
Well, don't if you're gonna. So you just told me God was holy, holy is perfection.
There's one difference.
Well, no, I'm trying to understand what you said. No, that's not all right with me. That's not what I said. What I was trying to say, you interrupted me. Was that in your context, pornography was harmful, and I saw how that was harmful because it affected someone in your life. In my situation, it's not affecting anyone. It's actually affecting me positively. So,
It objectifies women. That they're basically an
you don't know the type of pornography that I watch. You don't know what I consider pornography.
Whatever type of pornography that you watch objectifies to you as something that's only something to fulfill your pleasure.
That's not necessarily true. That's not true.
Lusting after.
No, I said a naked woman. I didn't say lusting. I just said a naked woman's body. Huh? But I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying. But
there's
hold
a
on.
difference. Pornography is when there's no relationship. When you don't have the person, you don't have the spouse, you don't have the wife, you can be there to come together for the fact that God created, that He was the one who created, designed it specifically for the purpose of bearing children that this place destroyed.
Yeah, so you're bringing all that out of nowhere.
That's the original intention of sex. It's obvious that's what sex causes is life. And that's what pornography denies. So it objectifies it. How can you have a baby by looking at an image? How can you have a relationship with a person by looking at an image? It objectifies it.
So every possible aspect of any sort of encounter with the opposite sex has to be first and foremost about reproduction. That's objectification.
With the relationship. So
that's objectification of the opposite gender. Like, no, because if you're going into a relationship with that God,
I said
then you're objectifying.
Started a relationship and bearing life.
If it starts with a relationship, then there's a lot more things that come before birth. And that includes my relationship with the people that I'm watching, and with the people that I know, and with my friends who might make a sex video and I might watch it.
The thing is, you rejoice in it.
Or my own sex video.
You love it.
The bottom line is there's something that God defines as sexually immoral. It's outside of the bounds of what He
Again, these definitions come out of nowhere.
They don't.
Yes, it is.
They come out of the Word of God.
But you're not willing to talk to me about it. Like every time, no, and let's not do this again. Go ahead.
Hey, you're not willing to talk, but then I bring the Word of God and you reject it.
Okay, actually, no, you're right. The problem is we're just getting from the time, and I'm sure you guys are.
You can go take a nap. No, we're fine.
I'm willing to converse.
You said you were tired.
Here's the thing: I don't hate you.
I love you.
I'd like you to
come to understand you guys actually a little bit more. I actually understand a little bit more.
I can learn. Keep learning.
It's a little bit tiresome to talk to someone and
That's right.
not see any sort of reciprocity in the fact that you might be in any way sort of very limited to me. Even though I'm trying to show patience how I'm different from you guys. We're obviously very different.
Right.
You guys can't even
There's only one right. There's only one truth. So that means one of us is wrong. And it's not us.
That's not how truth works.
It entirely works. That's how truth works. That's what truth is. Truth is what's true,
How
and
are we
what's false
supposed
is
to
not
know the
true.
truth? Exactly. So how do you know the truth? How do you know you know the
revealed
truth?
to us in
But that's not-
scriptures.
No.
How do you know
Because
that?
objective,
The
moral,
Bible
right
was
and
still
wrong.
written by a man.
Objective, moral,
It was
right and
not
wrong.
You don't
by
know.
God.
I study
God-
objectivity for a living. Actually.
Great, good.
So don't tell me about objective.
Objective,
you're-
moral, right and wrong. Yes.
So how do you know
there is such thing. Well, for one, God decrees it. He says, "Thou shalt not murder." So, for example, if I put my hands on you, would you have a problem with that? That's
if you
why.
put your hands
Because
on
that's
me, yeah,
objectively
fucked up.
wrong. That's right. Objectively wrong.
Not
Objectively
necessarily
evil.
objectively wrong. It's gonna be just
It's
wrong
objectively
for you.
wrong. If you put your hands on me, it would be objectively evil
If
and
I
morally
put
wrong.
my,
Of course.
but that's not gonna happen.
Right.
And there's
Why?
also no way
Because
to-
we can defend ourselves. But you know what? Babies can't. So that's also objectively wrong, objectively false, objectively not true. It's not a good thing to murder.
Putting the word
Therefore,
objective in front of something doesn't make it
it's
objective.
always true.
And also,
it's always true that it's wrong to murder.
Yeah, context does matter. Exactly.
It's
This is where we
always
started out.
It's always true that murder is evil.
Alright, hold on.
Always.
Stop it, bro. This is where we started out, which was there's context to sin, right? And there's right, wrong. So we have the same sin, it's right or wrong. That's the context.
False. It's not a sin of evil. Right.
Hail
It
Mary.
can't be a right sin. That's a false. You're like mixing things up.
All right, so would it be a sin then? Right.
What? No, you have to tell me what. You can't say
So
sin.
exactly. So I'm gonna bring back the example that we were talking about with that person stealing.
Stealing.
So if a person steals because they're hungry, they're about to die, is that still a sin? Or is the
Stealing is a
sin,
sin.
or is the sin that other men were keeping it from them?
Yes.
That other men produced this thing and said,
No.
I'm going to charge for what God gave us. I'm going to make them work for me and pay and get this from me. Is that the sin?
Hold on a second.
Or is it the person starving and stealing?
Hold on a second. You're
Who's the
mixing
victim?
multiple things. Wait, why are you mixing multiple things? We're talking about stealing.
Whoa, no, because the world is that complicated. The world is that complicated. You can't see that. Whoa, let's stay on what I was just talking about. Please not get you have to give permission.
So if I sit down?
Go
ahead.
Go first and then I'll talk.
I'm not going. I'm just
Okay, I mean, in terms of talking, because you seem to interrupt me. So let's just speak first.
okay. So let's just talk about that particular example, right? If a person steals because they're starving, is the sinner the person who stole to save their own life, or is the sinner the person that kept the food from them?
Well, he's stealing. He's staying on stealing, not the person keeping food from them. Let's stay on one topic. Let's not mix them. Because context does matter.
So
In this
should a
context,
person let themselves die to not? Should a person let themselves die because of the evils of other men?
should a person let themselves die because he was in terms of stealing?
Like if a person gets put in a corner
Yeah.
because of other people's sins, can I not sin to save my own life?
False. You can't. Because God. Because in that
So if you're starving,
Or your family is.
or if your family is starving, you
God
can't
will take
steal.
yeah, God will take care of it. That's what my belief is. My core belief.
Okay,
Okay, so
good.
what's-
That's,
so in
see,
this-
I
Homeless
understand that.
children, homeless.
That's how we as Christians go out. That's how we as Christians go out and.
So
When's the last
basically,
time you did
so
that?
basically,
Like,
you're
I was
saying-
actually
I did
just
2 months
so
ago.
basically
I
you're
did that
saying,
24 hours.
I was actually on a mission too last month in Haiti.
so just so I
So I
understand,
understand that. I understand that. And I see the evil, the people who keep food out of children's mouths.
so you're saying that doing something to prevent a child from living is wrong. In this context, feeding them. So how about taking their life and decapitating them and defending them?
You're just not talking about the same
If you're,
topic
if
anymore.
you're doing something to prevent somebody from living is a sin, according to your definition, doing
we keep
somebody.
talking?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But
Just
here's the
interesting
point, here's the
observation.
point.
No, because that's
This is
not
the
a right.
question.
That's not a point. That's just a complete tangent.
Oh, you just want to
technically,
deny
that's
food? That's
not- that
wrong.
doesn't feed-
But you
that
want to
doesn't
deny
feed
life?
our
That's okay.
But technically, that's the same exact thing as thinking about a person not giving the child or the person food.
Take enough?
I've got to head to work.
Nice to meet you.
God bless.
Think about
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
logically, you made a point. A person stealing to get food is sinner, and this person who denies food or denies resources for the person to live. That guy's sinning, right?
Wait, but that person worked all their life to build this store where they keep things so that they can feed their family. And the reason that they don't let... What'd you person you're talking about? The store owner that's keeping food from this person, right? So they're saving.
God bless you guys. I gotta. See you.